Atomic Habits by James Clear is a powerful and practical book that delves into the science of habit formation, showing how small, consistent actions can lead to significant changes over time. Clear provides a roadmap for transforming our lives by focusing on the tiny, incremental habits that compound into remarkable results. The book is rich in insights about behavior, motivation, and personal development, backed by scientific studies and real-life examples. The book opens with a core idea. Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. Just like money that multiplies through compound interest, the effects of your habits multiply as you repeat them over time. Atomic habits are small actions, sometimes so small they seem insignificant, that when repeated consistently lead to substantial results. James Clear emphasizes that real change comes from focusing on making small improvements consistently rather than relying on massive shifts or sudden inspiration. He uses the example of the British cycling team's transformation under coach Dave Brailsford. Brailsford introduced the idea of marginal gains, improving every aspect of the team's performance by just 1%. Over time, these small, incremental improvements added up, leading to a string of victories, including Tour de France wins and Olympic gold medals. This story sets the tone for the rest of the book. Small habits, when done consistently, make a big impact. Clear introduces the backbone of the book, the 4 laws of behavior change, a framework that helps us understand how habits are formed and how we can change them. The first law, Q, make it obvious, emphasizes that habits begin with a trigger or cue that prompts the behavior. By making the cues for good habits more visible, you increase the likelihood of performing them. One effective real-life example of this principle can be seen in the case of fitness. For instance, if you want to build a habit of working out every morning, laying out your workout clothes the night before in a prominent spot, such as by your bed or by the door, serves as a visible reminder of your intention. The idea is that by seeing the cue, you eliminate decision fatigue and give yourself a clear prompt to follow through with the habit. Another practical suggestion is to place healthy snacks, such as fruits or nuts, in easily accessible spots in your kitchen while hiding less healthy options in harder-to-reach places. This simple change in your environment makes healthy eating the more obvious and convenient choice. In contrast, keeping junk food in plain sight can serve as a cue for unhealthy snacking. This technique helps you design your surroundings in a way that naturally supports the habits you want to cultivate while reducing the chances of indulging in those you want to break. Habit stacking is another powerful technique. Clear suggests to make cues more obvious. Habit stacking involves pairing a new habit with an already established one. For example, if you have a habit of brewing coffee every morning, you could stack a new habit of journaling right after your coffee's ready. This way, the established habit of making coffee becomes the cue for starting the journaling habit. By linking your new habit to an existing routine, you leverage an already strong cue to trigger a new behavior, making it easier to remember and follow through. In addition to using visible cues and habit stacking, another strategy is to leverage your social environment. Surrounding yourself with people who already have the habits you want to adopt can be a powerful cue. For example, joining a running group or working in a space where people are focused on productivity can serve as a constant reminder to engage in the desired behavior. The mere presence of others acting as positive role models provides consistent visual cues that encourage you to follow suit. The principle here is to make the habit so obvious in your environment that it becomes difficult to ignore or forget. The second law, craving, make it attractive, emphasizes that the more appealing a habit is, the more likely we are to engage in it. According to Clear, humans are driven by the anticipation of rewards. So if a habit feels rewarding or desirable, it will spark the craving necessary to keep it going. One practical example of this is using temptation bundling to make an unattractive habit more enticing. For instance, if you struggle with reading, you could pair reading a book with something enjoyable, like drinking your favorite coffee or tea. By linking the habit with an immediate source of pleasure, you start to look forward to the overall experience rather than focusing on the effort involved in reading itself. Another effective technique Clear recommends is to reframe your mindset around the habit. He suggests shifting your perspective to focus on the positive aspects of the habit rather than the effort it requires. Take working out, for example. Instead of viewing exercise as a tiresome obligation, you could frame it as a chance to release stress, improve your mood, or boost your energy levels. This mental shift makes the habit more attractive by associating it with positive feelings and outcomes. The brain learns to crave the good feelings that come after exercising, making the behavior more appealing over time. Clear also introduces the idea of creating motivational rituals to make habits more attractive. A motivational ritual is a small, enjoyable activity that you perform just before starting the habit to boost your mood and motivation. For example, if you find it difficult to start writing, you could create a pre-writing ritual that includes playing an energizing song, lighting a scented candle, or doing a short meditation. This ritual helps to trigger positive emotions, making the habit feel more pleasurable and easier to begin. Incorporating social influence is another powerful strategy to make habits more attractive. Clear explains that humans are naturally influenced by the behaviors of those around them. So surrounding yourself with people who have the habits you aspire to adopt can make those behaviors more appealing. For example, if you want to get into the habit of running, joining a running group can make the experience more enjoyable because of the social interaction and encouragement you receive from others. When you see your peers engaging in the desired behavior, it reinforces the attractiveness of the habit, creating a positive feedback loop that makes you crave it even more. The third law, response, make it easy, is all about reducing the effort required to perform a habit. James Clear stresses that the simpler and more convenient a habit is, the more likely we are to follow through. A key technique he introduces is the 2-minute rule, which states that when starting a new habit, it should take no more than 2 minutes to complete. This principle works because it lowers the barrier to entry. For instance, if you want to start reading more, instead of committing to a full chapter, simply read for 2 minutes. The idea is to get started, as the hardest part of any task is often beginning. Once you're in motion, momentum builds, and it's much easier to continue. Clear provides real-life examples to illustrate this concept. Take exercise, for example. Many people struggle to start a workout routine because it seems daunting. However, if the habit is reduced to something as simple as putting on workout clothes or doing a 2-minute stretch, it becomes much easier to follow through. Once you're dressed for the gym or doing a basic warm-up, you're more likely to continue the workout. The simplicity of the task gets you past the initial resistance. And before you know it, you're building a consistent habit. The idea here is that habits should start small and grow naturally over time. Another practical suggestion Clear offers is environment design, where you organize your surroundings to make the habit easier to perform. If your goal is to practice guitar, keep your instrument visible and within reach at home, rather than stored away in a case. This visual cue reduces friction by making the guitar easily accessible, thus increasing the likelihood of you picking it up regularly. A similar example can be applied to healthier eating habits. Keep fruits on the kitchen counter and hide junk food in less convenient places. By making the desired action more convenient and the undesired action less accessible, you're nudging yourself toward better choices. Clear also emphasizes the importance of automation as a way to make habits effortless. By setting up systems that automatically help you engage in your habits, you minimize the effort required. For example, automating savings by setting up automatic transfers to your investment account each month ensures that you're consistently saving without having to think about it. Similarly, using technology such as smartphone reminders, scheduling apps, or fitness trackers can keep you on track with your habits. Automation removes the need for daily willpower, making habit formation seamless and sustainable over the long term. Finally, Clear highlights the concept of habit stacking, where you link a new habit to an existing routine to make it easier to integrate into your life. For example, if you already brush your teeth every morning, you could stack a 2-minute meditation habit right after brushing your teeth. By piggybacking on a habit you already do consistently, you're more likely to adopt the new one. This technique simplifies the habit-building process, helping you establish routines that feel almost automatic. Through these approaches, starting small, reducing friction, automating behaviors, and stacking habits, Clear shows how making habits easy is a powerful way to ensure their success. The fourth law, reward, make it satisfying, emphasizes the importance of immediate gratification in reinforcing habits. As humans, we are wired to seek rewards, And the more quickly we experience satisfaction from a behavior, the more likely we are to repeat it. James Clear explains that habits need an immediate payoff, even if the long-term benefits are what we truly aim for. One of his key suggestions is to find ways to make the rewards of good habits feel tangible in the present, even when their full impact might take time to manifest. A practical technique Clear suggests is using habit tracking as a form of immediate reward. When you see evidence of your progress visually, like marking off days on a calendar or using an app to track your streaks, you experience a sense of accomplishment. For instance, if you're building a habit of working out, tracking every day you exercise on a visible chart provides a satisfying and immediate reward. The visual progress keeps you motivated, giving your brain that little burst of satisfaction needed to keep going. Clear shares the example of comedian Jerry Seinfeld, who used a calendar to track his writing habit. He aimed to not break the chain of days he wrote, and seeing that uninterrupted streak of work acted as its own reward. Clear also encourages the use of positive reinforcement, where you celebrate each small win. It could be something as simple as treating yourself to something enjoyable after completing a task or mentally acknowledging your success. For example, if you're trying to eat healthier, you could reward yourself with a favorite piece of fruit or a refreshing smoothie after a week of healthy eating. The key is to make sure the reward is related to the habit, reinforcing the idea that the behavior is worth repeating. Additionally, Clear highlights the importance of immediate rewards in contrast to delayed gratification. For many habits, the long-term rewards, like losing weight, getting fit, or saving money, are delayed, which makes them harder to stick to. To bridge this gap, Clear suggests finding ways to experience immediate satisfaction alongside your habits. If you're building a reading habit, for example, you could join a book club where you can immediately discuss and share your thoughts on what you're reading. This adds a layer of instant gratification as the social engagement makes the process enjoyable right from the start. Finally, Clear introduces the concept of accountability partners as a powerful tool to make habits satisfying. When someone else is watching your progress or expecting updates, you're more likely to follow through. The satisfaction comes not just from completing the habit, but also from knowing you've upheld a commitment to another person. Whether it's a gym buddy or a group with similar goals, the support and acknowledgement from others provide both social reinforcement and immediate rewards for sticking to your habits. These techniques, habit tracking, positive reinforcement, finding immediate rewards, and using accountability, ensure that the satisfaction derived from your habits makes them stick for the long term. One of the most profound insights James Clear introduces is the relationship between habits and identity. Instead of fixating on the outcomes, like losing weight or writing a book, Clear urges us to focus on becoming the kind of person who can achieve those goals. This shift in mindset is all about building identity-based habits. Rather than saying, I want to run a marathon, you say, I am a runner. This subtle but powerful change shifts your perspective, aligning your actions with the person you want to become. It's not just about achieving the goal, it's about reinforcing your identity every time you perform the habit. The more you repeat these identity-based actions, the more they solidify your self-image, creating a positive feedback loop. Clear emphasizes that this approach moves beyond simple goal setting. It leads to a transformation at a deeper, personal level. To illustrate this concept, Clear shares the story of athletes who don't work out just to stay fit. They don't simply view exercise as a means to an end. They see themselves as people who never miss a workout. Their identity as athletes drives their actions, making it natural for them to train consistently. This identity-based thinking applies to all areas of life, whether you're trying to become a better writer, entrepreneur, or parent. By embodying the identity of someone who succeeds in these roles, your habits begin to align naturally with that version of yourself. But identity alone isn't enough. The environment around you plays a crucial role in shaping those habits. Clear argues that much of our behavior is driven by our surroundings, often without us realizing it. By intentionally designing your environment, you can set yourself up for success. For example, something as simple as placing healthy foods in a visible spot in your kitchen can encourage better eating habits. Conversely, removing distractions, like placing your phone out of reach during work hours, helps you focus on the task at hand. These small environmental shifts may seem insignificant, but they have a profound impact on habit formation. A powerful example of the role the environment plays in shaping habits comes from the story of Laszlo Polgar, a Hungarian educator who raised his daughters to become chess prodigies. Polgar didn't just rely on their natural abilities. He filled their home with chessboards, books, and constant practice. The environment he created was rich with opportunities for learning and mastery, and as a result, his daughters, Susan, Sophia, and Judith, became some of the most successful female chess players in history. This example highlights how deliberate environmental design can mold extraordinary outcomes. When you shape your environment to align with your desired habits, you make success almost inevitable, just as Polgar did for his daughters. In conclusion, Atomic Habits offers a profound yet approachable framework for understanding and transforming our behaviors, built on the powerful concept of marginal gains. James Clear explains that success doesn't come from a single grand gesture, but from the accumulation of small, seemingly insignificant improvements made consistently over time. This idea of marginal gains, improving by just 1% each day, is at the heart of the book. It's the understanding that small changes, when compounded over time, lead to remarkable results. While one tiny habit might feel too small to matter on its own, the cumulative effect of these micro-improvements is what ultimately drives significant transformation. Clear's explanation of marginal gains doesn't just apply to building good habits, but also to breaking bad ones. He emphasizes that even tiny negative behaviors, like spending an extra 10 minutes scrolling on your phone or skipping your workout just for today, can have a compounding effect in the opposite direction. It's a reminder that habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. They can work for you or against you, depending on whether you invest in good or bad habits. This concept encourages readers to be more mindful of their daily actions and to recognize that every choice we make, however small, is a vote toward the person we want to become. The beauty of the marginal gains approach is its accessibility. Anyone can improve by 1%, no matter where they are starting. This removes the overwhelming feeling of needing to make massive changes overnight. Instead, it shifts the focus to steady, sustainable progress. Clear's message is both motivating and reassuring. You don't need to rely on willpower or monumental effort to change your life. By focusing on improving just a little each day, these small habits will accumulate into extraordinary results over time. The key is patience and persistence, acknowledging that real, lasting change is a marathon, not a sprint. Ultimately, Atomic Habits encourages us to see progress as a gradual, ongoing journey, rather than something that requires sudden and drastic changes. The concept of marginal gains reframes the way we think about success. It's not about perfection, but about the small, consistent improvements that compound over time to create a powerful impact. By internalizing this philosophy, readers are empowered to make lasting changes in their lives, one small habit at a time, transforming not only their behaviors but their identities and futures. It's not just about mastering habits, it's about mastering who you are. Thank you so much for listening and joining us. If you enjoyed the audiobook, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated with more book summaries that help you expand your mind. Drop a comment below to let us know which book you'd like us to explore next, and we'll consider it for our upcoming episodes. We look forward to bringing you more valuable content right here on Page by Page. Until next time, keep learning and growing.